Hello to all my friends out there, and welcome to my kitchen and welcome to my world. Hi, you guys. Okay, these are some of the plants that I'm growing, and the thing that's really kind of good about this is I grew a majority of these plants out of the seeds out of my food. See, here's my little celery plant, but it got a little too waterlogged. I'm thinking about planting it. And remember the last food that I planted? I got a couple sprouts. And so these foods, and here is some, I just wrecked my celery. Here is some little sprouts of some sort. So I sprouted, I hate to bring my plants in because that's how you can get some insects. Okay. So I'm bringing them in and I'm checking around and I'm saying, do I'm like poison ivy. Do my plants need a little fertilizer? Well, yeah, they kind of do. I want to make sure they have enough nutrients. I bought this fertilizer. I found this kind to be the most effective. And so then, I'm just going around and I'm saying, do they look dry? And if they do, this is my water from last night. I didn't drink it. Okay, the psychics are saying that the virus is coming onto us from the rain. Okay, where I live is totally surrounded by clouds. And I was thinking, no wonder no one believes these psychics. The darn stuff they come up with, right? Well, if the trade winds blew in, can you believe this good-looking plant is looking a little dry? It's a good thing I brought it in. So the trade winds could have carried the virus. If you live on the West Coast, maybe from Mexico. If you live on the East Coast, maybe from China. And then the rain. You guys, just stay out of the rain. This is the time to be nice and careful. And I am bringing my plants inside because I don't want them getting rained on. I think this plant's the same one as the one in the back. Keep your kids out of the rain. That's why they're telling the old people to stay out of the rain. To stay indoors. And then I just planted these from my seeds. They look fine. Well, I'll give them a little fertilizer. So, caution is the watchword right now. Just be super careful and say, okay, this won't last forever, but I don't want to be one of the fatalities. Not even. This is like one of my most successful plants. So, I'm looking at my plants and I'm giving them a little attention if they need it. And I will clip off these dead leaves because they're sapping energy. Look at this. It's pretty. I'm going to leave it. It's too cute. I don't want to take it down. Okay, so we're going to be careful. We've got a little time to prepare. One concerning thing that could happen, let's hope not, is if the stock market was to totally collapse, we could be thrown into a very bad situation. Very bad. It's been declining, but hopefully it's just a recession. I think a recession has been admitted to. I have been through several of them. I told you guys I worked in shops where they couldn't, cash their paychecks. And my little aloe vera and my bird of paradise are very happy right now. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I will give them a little fertilizer as well. So, that's a good thing about your rooftop gardens. If something undesirable happens, and this plant was covered with some creepy creepy dust. You can see a little bit, so I took it, I rinsed it off. So, you guys try to grow food. Don't say, I don't have any dirt, I don't have any seeds. Go outside, get dirt, and just plant the seeds out of your food. Okay, now, I want to talk to you about something. Do you remember when I bought this and I bought this? What this is 24 servings. So basically this is some huge cans of vegetables, and I bought them at Walmart, and they weren't too bad. They were $4 or $5. And then the other thing I just bought was 2 of these packages of bacon ends. And so you might be wondering, wow, you know, you're going to get high cholesterol and you are going to die. Yeah, that's true. But if you have green beans and you have bacon, you can survive. And so what I was thinking the smart thing to do would be cut down a little bit right now. Go, you know, not severe rationing, but start being careful with your food. Ration it out. Just make enough, you know, that you're going to eat. Don't leave yourself hungry, but start rationing your food now, because we don't know how this thing is going to play out. So we want to be smart, and we want to say, okay, a bad thing to do would be run out of food. I told you guys a story about my boyfriend. When I was young, I used to have a lot of boyfriends. I used to love to get engaged. But anyway, he was a trained mercenary from Vietnam War. Well, everybody was in the Vietnam War then, because there was a draft. And so after the Vietnam War, he was paid very, very well to go to Iraq and to guard the provisions. They guarded their provisions with mercenaries. Because in that religion, if you're over there and you get killed, that is your own fault, because you had no business over there and it was your karma. Otherwise, you're stupid enough to go over there and you're stupid enough to get killed, that's on you. They're the same way about stealing. Not all of them. Remember my ring story? God, it took me the longest time to get another one. I'm still bitter over that. Anyway, he was sent over to guard the provisions because they couldn't, you know, he was a storekeeper in the military, but all the storekeepers were trained mercenaries, and they were paid very, very well. And if they extended for another 6 months, they would be paid like twice as much money, because no one could stand it, because it was hot and it was very awful. So you want to start thinking about rationing your food a little. Don't be stupid and starve yourself because you have to keep your immunity up, but don't overeat. Conserve your food right now. We don't know how this thing is going to play out. It's probably going to be okay, but we don't know 100%. So if you can get your hands on these big cans, that's a good idea. Okay, so that is one point I wanted to make. Now, the other thing is, if you can get this, see how it's 100% juice? There's still time and there's still a chance. And if you get this, you have some juice with some vitamin C and some pineapple to eat. Any kind of vitamin C. The other thing is tomatoes, all kinds of tomatoes, if you can get them. There's still time. You know, out here in the Walmart, in the good area, you know, where you think everything would be okay. I mean, there was tension. I mean, it was very unpleasant. Okay, now, I picked up one of these. Good acidic acid. Okay, during the reign, or terror, depends how you want to look at it, Alexander the Great protected his army by putting vinegar in the water. And so no misery making. And so you want to stockpile acidic foods. Now why? Okay, when you drink water and one of those hydrogens breaks off, chances are the virus or the bacteria might hook on to that oxygen. So you want to keep yourself protected with these acidic foods. Also, you know, if you have vitamins, that would be super duper. One of the vitamins you really want is you really want vitamin C. Look, I don't have very many left, but that's okay. I got the good stuff in the refrigerator. This is going to protect you. Don't go crazy or you'll get diarrhea. So if you can get these by the gallons, that would be super duper. The other thing I stockpile is lemon juice, and let me see, here is the recipe for the lemonade. 1 cup sugar, but you want to be careful with your sugar. 1 cup lemon, I buy this in lime, and 2 quarts water. Okay, I think the better use of this is just to put a capful in your cups of tea, because you don't want to blow through your lemon juice. So, you know, these are good with the juice inside because, okay, let's say if this pandemic thing blows over, some people are predicting a second wave. So when this blows over, we want to refortify our provisions. And I'm praying for you guys. I'm not going to stop either. But, you know, if you stay with me, you're going to be a little bit prepared. God is the one who's really going to keep us in one place. But, you know, sometimes my followers leave the best messages. I kind of have a couple idiots, but that's to be expected. Okay, and then I saw a lady, a little old lady, and she was buying Tang, top ramen, and Vienna sausage. So I was no fool. Guess what I bought? Tang, Vienna sausage, and top ramen. Guess what? There is no flippin' top ramen. Mr. Charles, I know you got your top ramen. And then I saw they had these, and what I started doing is stockpiling all kinds of grape stuff. Because what we want to do is we want to say, okay, historically, what could go dry? Well, oil and wine. So you want to stockpile your shortening. You go, well, I don't like shortening because that causes high cholesterol. Okay, there's no time for splitting hairs. Stockpile olive oil. One of the things I've been stockpiling is heavy cream and butter, because that can be used as a good fat. Okay, now with your bacon ends, you can put those in a little bit of beans. You can put those in, refried beans. You can eat your bacon with eggs if you're lucky enough to have some. And so, be praying to God. I got very annoyed when I got the 2 thumbs down on the toilet paper video. I just thought, wow, I hope you're smart enough to try. Today I got napkins at Walmart. But pretty much you want to self-isolate. Because one of the reasons that the virus spread in China is because the people wouldn't comply with the isolation. Okay, today when I was out, and my son was very mad. He goes, "What are you doing?" Because he has ordered me to stay in the house. Guess what? No one was wearing gloves. I saw people wearing masks. I saw people wearing gloves. And I thought, well, the only problem with that is the disease is airborne. And they're saying people are not showing any symptoms. So you can't say, well, I'm safe as hell because no one's coughing. Okay, you guys, that's it for now. I'm going to be making some cheap, moderate meals. Okay, in case you're new to me, cereal and milk for breakfast. Powdered milk, oatmeal, any kind of cereal. I bought boxes when they were half price. Sandwich with a couple of cookies and tea for lunch. No starving. dinner, some kind of cheap dinner, and I'm going to be making them one every single night to show you what I do. You know, a lot of times when I was the only one able to cash my paychecks, that is because we used to have to guarantee our paychecks because, you know, they wouldn't exactly have the money in the bank when the check was issued. I always hated working for those kind of people. But, you know, I am grateful to all those people that gave me a job. But, you know, the hairdressing business is not easy by any means. You know, those were some pretty bad recessions. One time during one of those recessions, there was, we had this like salon, and it was a chain. I'm not going to mention the chain. And it so happened there was me, you know, the single mom, and we were all really good hairdressers. There was one girl, and she had a drug problem, and I'll never forget, a jealous woman cut her face, you know, from her eye down to her chin, and she was an effing hairdresser, but she worked. But she was a drug addict, but she was a really good hairdresser. And then there was a gay guy, and what happened is back then there was no protection like palimony, and his friend who was elderly left all the money to a second cousin so no one would know, ha ha ha. And so he had been with this guy very young, and he had like $50 a week that the guy forced him to save all the years they were together. But he wasn't, you know, living the good life anymore. And there was another woman, and I'll never forget this salon, and she had like 5 kids, and she was out here from like Kentucky trying to support these kids as a hairdresser. So there's these really good hairdressers working in this really dumb shop, and of course, you know, we made more money than all the salons in Southern California. And so to like reward us, they brought us a poinsettia plant. Yes. God, it was the stupidest shop. But eventually we all left. And the one guy who was super lovable and I went to the shop where we couldn't, you know, he couldn't cash his paycheck. I used to guarantee his paycheck. So you guys, this is not the first recession. This is not the first, well, I don't think we've ever had a pandemic like this. But think back, okay, what did I do last time something like this happened? Well, what I started doing for many, many years is I would work 3 jobs at a time. And so finally, you know, I retired, and I said to myself, if I ever retire, I will do videos and I will tell my followers exactly how I got by all these years. A lot of times I would say to myself, my gosh, I'm so poor. And I'm better off than some of these people I work with. I ain't eating that. Yeah, you guys, get some of this, pile it into your freezer. Walmart, 8 pounds of hamburgers for $20. You know, I stockpiled all kinds of cheap meat. And you guys saw I stockpiled cheese, Velveeta type cheese, a lot. And then, you know, I have stuff to make bread. Okay, you guys. If you have any great tips, leave them for the followers. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're the idiot with the thumbs down, it's okay, because you probably need this channel more than anyone else. And read the comments, because you're probably a know-it-all. Okay, you guys, God bless you all.